So I think the hardest part of the course for me is it's funny because like right now I'm super extroverted. I'm ambivert for sure. So
Mm-hmm.
I am a very extroverted person, but when it comes to like showing my face on my stories, posting photos of myself, like that's really hard for me to do. Like last night I posted a fucking video of me hula hooping. I'm
Oh,
like,
that's amazing.
yeah, like 2 or 3 months ago, I would have never done that.
Yeah.
But like listening to the course and what really resonated with me was you talking about your booth at the wedding shows and showing up in your bare feet and people coming and being like, oh my God, you were literally made for me. And I was like, wow, I've been holding back so much. I've been
Yes.
so scared to talk too much about myself on my website. I don't want to show my face on my stories, just like holding back so much of who I am. And then really connecting like my photography business and me is one.
When I first started my wedding photography business back in 2011, I made just $5,000 in my business. Now, I bring in multiple six figures per year while working only 30-hour weeks serving my dream couples. I'm here to help you discover that it's so possible to have what you want when you want in your business so that you can create the life you've always dreamed of and deserve. All right, welcome back to another episode of the Shine and Thrive podcast. You're tuning into episode 65. Holy crap, I'm getting closer to 100. I don't even know how it's happening. But I'm so excited for this one because I actually have one of my CCM students. So if you don't know what CCM is, it's my crystal clear marketing mini course with me as a guest on this episode. And she's going to share her experience all about the course and how it helped her and what she found valuable. So if you're on the fence on trying to figure out, like, is this the right fit for me? Is this course the right fit for me? Then this will definitely give you clarity on that. And just to quickly introduce Emily to you. So Emily McCracken is a photographer specializing in engagement and wedding photography in Grey Bruce, Ontario. Whoop, whoop, Ontario peep.
Love it so
and
much.
and she's obsessed with the moon, dogs, and ripped jeans, which is so cool. And Emily is known for being transparent AF and her wild child free spirited self and capturing intimate, spontaneous, and golden hour sessions. So that's a little bit about Emily. And yeah, Emily, welcome. I'm so excited to do this little podcast with you.
Me too. I'm so excited to be here. My voice squeaked already. I was like,
You're so cute. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy. Us just like DMing randomly, like, like we do like little voice memos. I'm like, oh my
yes,
gosh, I
all the
love this
time.
girl's energy. So I thought it'd be so fun, definitely to collaborate on this. Yeah. So I think maybe just to start off the episode, I think it'd be fun. I want to ask you, just so everybody else can get a little bit of sense of like who you are, what you do
Mm.
in your business, and who do you serve. And I know I kind of already mentioned it, but I think I just would love to hear a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. So I started in photography, I guess. I always kind of get confused on the date, but I think it was about 2 years ago that I like fully got into it. Um, and I kind of just started in everything, was doing family, lots of extended family. Then I had got my first wedding request, I think, after like my third or fourth shoot. And I was just, like I said, I'm very, very transparent. And I just said to them, I was like, I'm super new. I've never done a wedding before, but if you're willing to trust me with that, I'll dive in. So I ended up, that was June and the wedding wasn't until August. So I shot for the whole summer. And they were like, yeah, no, we don't care that you're new. That's totally fine. And you're super transparent about it. So then, yeah, I shot my first wedding in August of that year. And then it kind of just took off from there.
That's so fun. And
That
what year was that?
would have been 2019.
Okay, cool. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I don't even understand how quickly you've grown. That's
Oh,
incredible.
thank
Oh my
you.
gosh. By the
Thank you
way,
so
if
much.
you're tuning into this episode, then maybe let them know what your Instagram handle is so that they can
Yes, for
just jump on
sure.
and check you out right now.
Yeah, so it's Emily McCracken, and McCracken is McCracken and just photography.
Awesome.
All
Yeah.
one.
You're super talented, and I'm so
Thank
excited to like, and the way you're
you.
showing up and everything, I'm so excited to dive into all of that right now.
Me too.
Okay, so to start off, I would love to
Mhm.
know like what made you decide to sign up for the Crystal Clear marketing mini
For
course in the
sure.
first place?
So when COVID first started, I kind of made a vow to myself to kind of use it as an opportunity. Um, and I said, if this lockdown thing continues, each time there's a lockdown, you're doing a course of some sort. So
Oh,
the first one was I signed up for the Evelyn Barkey retreat. We were supposed to go to BC.
yeah.
Um, but it's got rescheduled the whole time. I think she talked about
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
But
I
yes,
know.
love her. I'm
Yeah.
still so excited for it.
Yeah, she's
So I signed up.
amazing.
I love her. She
Yeah.
did some of my photos back here. Um,
Oh.
yeah, so I signed up for that one the first time. And then I actually did Becca Cannon's course the second lockdown.
Oh, cool. That's so cool. I just
I
had
know, I
interviewed
saw
Becca Cannon.
that.
Oh my God, that's so
I
fun.
love her. Yeah, she's so awesome. I've done a few and I did some mentor sessions with her, just like FaceTime. And then so third lockdown came and I was like, oh my God. And I saw that it was $50 at the
Yeah.
time. And I was like, okay, I like it. And I love your stuff. I think I had first connected with you when I started listening to your podcast.
Oh,
And
cool.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I love her podcast so much. I'll love this. So yeah, that's how I came to be. I really, because I work full time as well, lockdowns are kind of an opportunity for me to do things that I don't get the chance to do in the busy
Right.
season. So
Yeah. I
I
love that
always
you
use
said
it
that you took it, you saw, you're like, I'm going to create an opportunity out of this moment.
100%.
That's really like a incredible growth mindset, and I applaud you
Yeah.
on that.
Thank you.
That's like the default that you chose, right?
Yeah.
And so okay, so when you're like you stumbled upon the mini course, and it was explaining how it'll help you attract and book your dream clients. So
Mm-hmm.
in what way did you feel stuck in your business with regards to that?
So I think for me, um, I I love doing like family photography and stuff, but when I come home from an engagement session or a wedding, I am just on this like crazy high and like I'm running to my computer to like edit the images and I just felt like that piece wasn't really connecting with me. Like I felt like I wasn't getting those same feelings all of the time when I was coming home, especially when I was doing extended family shoots. I felt like I couldn't do what I do in a couple session with like 10 people.
Yeah.
So when I saw the course, and I actually was talking to a really good friend of mine, Autumn Liggett, as well, and she's like, oh my God, like you'll love it, you'll want to change everything about your website, everything, but take it. And that's kind of how, because I there was some pieces of my brand that I felt I wasn't connecting with.
Got it. And in a way, like how were you feeling during that time? So you felt like kind of like, did you feel like you had to take on those sessions in order to make
Yes,
money and you felt stuck?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like, so extended family sessions, I love all of my clients that I've done an extended family session for, if you're listening to
Yeah.
this. But I just felt like when I got like I wasn't excited going to them. And I just felt like it didn't fit. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I
does that
know what
make
you mean.
sense?
And
Yeah,
100%. And that's exactly where I was like years and years ago. I thought that in order to make money, the only way to do so was to offer everything and shoot everything that comes your way
exactly.
because you don't want to say no. It's like if I say no to a family session, I'm actually like saying no to money and I need money. Like,
Exactly.
so it's like, how
Yeah.
do you get out of that? Yeah.
And then I got in this mindset of like, oh, I don't like doing it as much, so I'll up the price. But then people just kept paying it, and I was like,
Yes.
okay, so now I'm turning down a lot of money when I don't take them on. But then I hit a point, I think it was last October, and I was just like, I can't anymore. I can't
Yeah.
do this. But I didn't know how to get out of it,
Right.
and I felt
So
wrong for turning it away.
exactly. So then what helped you realize throughout the course that it's actually like costing you more time and more money to not specialize?
I think it was the first part when it was talking about the specializing, and when I did the grid, the what was
Yeah,
that
the
activity
graph thing
called?
that I had, the
Yes,
visual that I had.
exactly.
Yeah.
When I did that, I noticed like how quickly I wrote down weddings and engagements. Like right away, I was just like wedding. I didn't even have to think twice about it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what's like the third one that I like? And I was like, okay, like newborn lifestyle. And like those three were so easy for me to figure out. Like
Hmm.
it was a no-brainer. And I think like once I got further into the course, I understood that there is room for doing those other sessions, but making, specializing in engagements and weddings is what you're going to be known for, right? Rather
Yeah.
than, and viewing it as like an expert.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, tell me if I'm wrong. Like, did you have the misconception that as soon as you said, I am only a wedding photographer or only a couples photographer, that did you assume that you would get no other inquiries for anything else?
Yes. And I was like, how am I just going to not do those forever? And how will people take that? And how will I address that with people
Yeah.
who inquire about it? Because, if you look at my Instagram, there's still some family stuff on there, a lot of newborn lifestyle stuff, obviously, because that's kind of where the market's been right now. But
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so so basically, what did you need to hear or see in order to believe that you can actually make more money doing the one thing that you love the most? Like, what made you like have that
Like,
switch
what
flip
was
in
the
your head?
click?
Like something that made you less scared about it.
Yeah. Okay. So I think more or less just throughout the course you say over and over again is staying authentic to who you are, and kind of just like what you're passionate about, and that sort of thing. And that really connected with me. Like I was like, why am I, and you speak a lot about, and I can't remember if you mentioned in the course or again the podcast, but you speak a lot about business life harmony rather than
Yeah.
balance.
Yeah.
And like I'm giving, because I work still full time. Eventually, I'm hoping that'll change, but I'm giving up Sundays to go and do something that I'm not absolutely dying over. So once I started reflecting on that, and like reflecting on, wow, I wrote engagement and wedding so quickly, but I did not write that for family photography. Why is that? And what I should be filling my calendar up with that. Like I should be filling
Yeah.
my calendar up with what sets my soul on fire.
Yes.
So
Oh my
that's where it
gosh.
kind of clicked for me.
Yeah, I love that. And isn't it so fascinating how just sitting down and committing to doing a little homework assignment and writing things down and really asking yourself the question of like, if I could only choose one thing to focus on, what would that
Yes.
be? How quickly the answer comes to you.
So
But
quick for me.
really, outside of that, if we don't take the time to really sit down and go inward, we stay stuck on this hamster wheel of doing things unconsciously in our business that aren't really creating the life that we want. So, and
Well,
making
and
decisions
then
out of fear, right?
100%. And then thinking of things like, well, because I try to limit how many sessions I take on because of the full-time job. But if I give a Saturday away or a Sunday away to something that I'm not excited about doing, that Sunday's gone and I can't fill that with an engagement session or a wedding
Yeah.
or whatever it be, right?
Mhm.
So thinking of it that way too, and saying like, because I can think of how many weddings I've turned away.
Mhm.
Because of something else that I have booked that I'm not as passionate about.
Yeah.
So I think it's terrifying to take the step. Like I was like shaking when I wrote, I will no longer be doing extended family sessions. Like I was terrified. And like people are gonna have an uproar, like people are gonna freak out. But that didn't happen.
Yeah, it didn't happen. And how did you
Yeah.
feel on the other side?
Oh, so good. So good. I honestly, and now it's just like it's a no-brainer for me. I have a list of photographers that I recommend for
Mhm.
extended family sessions, and I'm like, I'm not excited about it. Why do it? Like,
I
why
love
not
that.
spend the time doing something else that I absolutely love?
Yeah.
Again, I love you, extended families that I have done.
Yeah. I think all photographers get that. Like with like
Yes,
we under like any job, anything that I can photograph, I'm grateful and it's such a like it's such an honor.
such
But
an
there is
honor.
this like that one space that if you stay in that space as an artist that you are just so aligned with, that's your zone of genius. That's how you can create work that no one else creates. Like if you choose like if someone's listening to this and you're like, I want to be a family photographer, like that's where my heart is at. If you're spending your time also photographing weddings, but you really not aren't passionate about it, you're not giving yourself the additional time to get to that zone of genius as an artist of you offering what no one else can from your perspective as a family photographer, and you're
Yeah,
staying kind of just in this kind of mediocre zone of like just being a good photographer. But what if you literally just dove all in into just family photography and you cultivated the exact experience you wanted for them, you would stand out. You would be so much more excited. You would for sure not become resentful of your business and even photography, because we all start becoming, we all want to be photographers because we love our hobby and we love the creative
100%.
freedom. But then when money comes into it,
Yeah.
it like messes shit up a bit, right? So it's like,
It does.
yeah, yeah. So I love everything you said. And so I would love to know, like, what have your results been like since, and how has CCM helped your business?
So I think the hardest part of the course for me is, it's funny because like right now I'm super extroverted. I'm ambivert for sure. So
Mm-hmm.
I am a very extroverted person, but when it comes to like showing my face on my stories, posting photos of myself, like that's really hard for me to do. Like last night I posted a fucking video of me hula hooping. I'm
Oh,
like,
that's amazing.
yeah, like 2 or 3 months ago I would have never done that.
Yeah.
But like listening to the course, and what really resonated with me was you talking about your booth at the wedding shows and showing up in your bare feet and people coming and being like, oh my god, you were literally made for me. Like
Yeah.
you were made, right? Like that really resonated with me, and I was like, wow, I've been holding back so much. I've been
Yes.
so scared to talk too much about myself on my website. I don't want to show my face on my stories. Just like holding back so much of who I am, and then really connecting like my my photography business and me is one.
Yeah.
Like that it those are the people I attract by showing up. I can't tell you how many DMs I got of people being like, oh my god, this is hilarious that you posted a video of yourself hula hooping. Right, like just it's honestly opened up a whole new level of connection with my audience that I never thought possible. um and just people messaging me being like, noticing that I'm showing up as myself and just saying like, I love your energy, I love this about you. And it's just like, it's so crazy to think that I was so scared to do that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
Right.
I have chills.
Oh
Number one, for you like being brave enough to like show up that way and just
yeah.
trusting in what what I taught, like just putting your full
Yes.
trust in it and being like, you know what, it worked for her. I'm just gonna dive in, and you dove in, and like
Yeah.
ever since you did, you've been on my radar. I've been noticing you
Thank
showing up,
you.
and I'm just like so proud because it's not
Oh
easy to do.
yay.
But I'm so happy for you because I know what it feels like. I know what that transition feels like. It's terrifying, but when you're on
Totally.
the other side, you feel so free and liberated. And like you said, all of those DMs and connections that you're getting, those are either going to be future clients or those are going to be the people that recommend you to people looking for a wedding
Exactly.
photographer. And that's
Exactly.
how like your business will just catapult. And I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's so kind. And yeah, like I completely agree. Like it's funny because it is such a zone of like you're so uncomfortable for a period of time. Because you're like, well, what about the brides that have like the light and airy weddings? And I'm like, like that's the
Yeah.
love you guys. That's not where that like those aren't my people.
Yeah,
And there's so many other photographers who though like those are their people, right?
exactly.
But like I'm the kind of girl who will attract either like the really fun, adventurous elopement couples, or the people who don't mind if I have a couple beers with them after the wedding day, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I think I have been attracting those couples all along, but I feel like now is when I'm getting those really long DMs about, oh my god, like we love your energy, like we don't want anyone but you, we're going to choose our date around you, right? Whereas it's crazy, it's honestly
Oh,
crazy what
I'm
happens when you
so
show
happy to hear that. Okay. So when you say, right, that your people are those that want to be adventurous and elope
Mhm.
outside and all of that, right? The first thing that comes to mind, and I know what my listeners are thinking right now, they're like, yeah, but so many photographers are doing that right now. Like, isn't that just like her direct competition? Like, if everyone's going that direction, why would she go in that direction, right?
Yeah.
So to that, what would you say? What advice would you give photographers
I
that are scared of showing up as authentically themselves,
yeah.
even though that could be something that's a little bit more popular right now?
I think the biggest, you need to connect with it. If you don't connect with those words, those buzzwords of adventurous, if you don't connect with the buzzword of wildly in love, whatever, if you don't connect with that, it's not going to work for you. So my buzzwords from my word dump is, I have it written here just to make sure. It's free spirited, which is one of yours, I believe, as well. Wild childs, because everybody calls me a wild child, and then spontaneous. So yeah, and if you don't, and like you said in the course, if you don't connect with those 3 words, it's not going to go far for you. But because I connect with them and people are like, oh wow, like she's literally showing a video of herself, girl is crazy. I connect with it, so I feel like I attract it more.
Exactly.
Does that make
and
sense?
on top of that, what else is the differentiator from you being a photographer that photographs adventurous outdoor elopements and other photographers?
Yeah. I'm showing up as myself.
It's you.
Yeah,
Exactly. It's
exactly.
you.
Yeah,
And
I'm
like,
showing up as me. Yeah.
yeah. And that, like, the whole thing is that I want people to remember is there could be 10 adventurous elopement photographers standing in a line, and there will always be a couple that is drawn to
100%.
one the most, and we'll pick
Yeah.
that one person. And the differentiating factor is not the work necessarily only.
No.
It's your personality. How
100%.
easily do they connect with you? So yeah.
Well, it's funny because one of the HR people I was talking to at my job earlier this week, and he's like, so you're a full-time social worker, full-time photographer, and part-time model, because he's noticed that I've been putting them all on my feed. And I was like, well, I'm actually doing that to connect better with the people that I serve. And like I explained it to him that I had taken your course, and he's like, there is so much more to Instagram than just squares on a grid. And I said, yes, 100%. It's a trust thing. It's 100% a trust thing.
100%. Oh my God, I love that so much. And
yeah.
I want to also ask you, because you mentioned to me that a bunch of your photographer friends also took CCM with you. So
Yep.
you took it together. So I'd love to hear how that has like worked for you together, because you mentioned something
Yeah.
about being accountability partners and like just supporting each other throughout the course.
Well, and I think in photography, imposter syndrome is like so hard to come over. And yeah, Shelby Andrews is one. I don't know if you know her, but she's one that had taken the course. We did a lot of it together, and like at the same time, parallel.
Oh, fun.
And it was just really nice to have somebody to bounce like, okay, here's my word dump. Like, what do you think about this? Like, I feel like I connect with it. Do you think? Right. And like, just like bouncing that kind of stuff off each other as people who, I'm constantly looking at her stuff. She's constantly looking at mine. And just reminding each other too, that when, a lot of the time inspiration and copying, that's a big thing in photography. Right.
Yeah.
And just reminding ourselves like, no, we're staying true to our brand and who we are. Whatever everyone else is doing doesn't matter. So kind of just like holding each other accountable that way. And like, are you staying true to who you are? I'm staying true to who I am. So what's working for you? And just holding each other accountable and not getting caught up kind of in the politics bullshit of all of that piece of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Because it's easy to start like at any chapter, it's easy to start swaying away from your authentic
100%.
self and being from fear of like, what will people think? But what I always love to say, and you've probably heard this a million times, my podcast and in the course, is no matter what you do, people will love you.
Yes.
So, right? No matter what you do. So for example, Emily loves to swear. So
yes.
if she swears, there will be people that are like, I fucking love you, Emily. I swear too. And I'll be able to swear at my wedding because you're fine with it. Right. But then there are people that are probably following her that don't like swearing. Right.
100%.
But guess what? Here's the kicker. It's like, those people that don't like you swearing, they can either unfollow you, or they can either tolerate it and be like, you know what, there's so many other great qualities she has. That's something we don't agree on, but I'm not going to hate her on it. Right.
Exactly.
So it's like, no matter what you do, people will love you. So it's like, you might as well just do whatever you want.
Yeah. And just like, yeah, exactly. So I remember, so when I would do client calls before the course and like for weddings, I'd be on the phone and I'd be like, okay, like right before I would go on, I'd be like, you can't swear, you can't fucking swear, you can't swear. Now I open it, like I open it wild and I like swear, because if we don't connect, we don't connect. And if that's like that's a no-go for you, that's totally fine. I want you to connect completely with your wedding photographer. And I think that's where my mind shift has also changed is, I remember, I'd get so insulted when someone would be like, oh, can you, I really like your posing, don't really like your editing. And that would just eat me. And now I'm like, oh my God, no, like that's who I am. That's what my editing is. And there's so many other photographers who could do exactly what you're talking about. Right. So just like
Yeah.
not shifting from who you are and just opening it up to being your
Wow, I
authentic
love
self.
that.
Yeah.
What that reminded me, what you just said, what I
Yeah.
realized is it actually helps transform you to also accept others for who they are. Because
100%.
I think you realize how important it is for you to live your life authentically and speak your
Yep.
truth and all of that. That now, if someone says, I really like your work, but I'm not sure if you're like your editing, you probably now genuinely are like, oh, like I care about you as a human being. I want you to have an authentic experience to you. So I don't take it
Exactly.
personally. I want to help you find a photographer that has that editing style. And
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. I don't take that personally anymore.
It's like your
Because
ego has like got like fucked off from
oh my
that,
God, I gotta be honest
basically.
with you. One of your fucking episodes, like it smacked my ego like across the fucking, like it was like a beach ball. It's
Oh
like
my
wham. And
God,
I
that
was
was the
like,
best compliment.
holy shit. No, it was how to manage unhappy clients.
Okay, yeah.
That honestly, I'm not even like, okay, well, I'm trying to make your head swell, but like that transformed my outlook on fucking everything. Everything.
Yeah,
Like there were
because if you
so many times I was like, oh my God, I wish I could go back and like completely change. And it has anytime I have somebody that's even like, it's not that I have people unhappy a lot,
yeah,
but anytime I do, I'm like, okay, no, you need to go above and beyond. Like there's so many things that I would change
yeah. It's not about
because of
you, it's
that.
about them in the moment
100%.
when they're unhappy. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Ego, beach
I
ball.
love that. Beach ball. I don't know why I just wanted to
Ah,
say bazunka. Why did I just want to say bazunka? I just want summer to come
I
around.
know. Oh my God. I know. That's why I said beach ball too. I'm just so fucking
Yeah,
sick of cold and
yeah.
oh shit.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I think as a last question, I would love to know like what was your biggest takeaway? If you could have like one biggest takeaway or aha moment from the mini course, what would it be? And it's okay if you already mentioned it, or just what's the like the biggest one?
Yeah. Well, I think there's a few. I think one, do the course, but if you are stuck on something, do a word dump. I love that exercise.
Yeah.
That's great. I do that all the time now when I'm like planning like styled shoots or anything. I like write down a bunch of words and so I love that. Also just like show up as yourself. Like don't show up as someone else that you're trying to be, like if you're inspired by someone that's so great, but figure out what makes you different.
Yeah. I love that.
One sec.
That is always great advice.
Yeah. And just yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, Emily, I'm so grateful to have had you here. Like, this has been so much fun. I feel like we could talk for hours, but
I know.
as I
I know.
mentioned, I'm trying to keep these episodes short and digestible because I realize I could talk for hours. So,
I totally feel
um,
that. Well, I
yeah.
listen for hours, so that's good.
Oh, yay. Oh, actually, no, wait, before we go, see, I can't keep an episode short. I can't
No,
do
it's
it.
impossible.
I wanted to know how important and impactful was it for you to figure out your why you're a
Oh,
photographer?
yeah, so I'm somebody who I'm not super emotional. I'm getting so I didn't know I was an empath for a really, 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 really long time. Like I just kind of figured it out probably within the last 2 years. Year even I would say. So I didn't really cry a lot before then. But doing your why exercise it was really challenging for me at first. I was like, okay, I'm not asking myself why one more time. Like, I think I figured it out. But then I literally set a timer and I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it. And I think I sent you a voice note.
I think so
Um,
too, yeah.
yeah, when I did it. So I don't think I haven't really talked about this a lot like on my platform, but I grew up in a home that was really emotionally and physically abusive. Um, and when I did my why, I kind of dug deeper into thinking about photos and home videos and that kind of stuff and why those are so important to me. Like all my photo albums, I go to my grandma's like once every 2 weeks, and every time I'm there, I'm ripping out the photo albums. And my why is because every time I look at those, it like completely erases like one bad memory from my mind. And totally brings back those positive, nostalgic, really good concrete memories. And I just hope that like, I think when I have kids, I just hope I have that lasting effect. And I hope that that's what I provide my clients with, is like remembering that day in a field where you were running around like a bunch of wild childs. Like that's my why, because it's just, yeah. I remember sending you that and I was like, I'm getting emotional talking about this, but
thanks for sharing that. I think that's, I think the misconception that a lot of photographers have is that they think that they know their why.
Yes.
But it's usually a surface why. And just even hearing you say, I hope my photos for me represent erasing the bad memories and remembering the good. Like that is so deep compared to, I just want people to have memories to remember, right? There's a bigger reason as to why you specifically are a photographer. So thank you for sharing that. That's so incredible.
Welcome.
And I love that you actually did the work and did the exercise, because that's the only way you can that you'll progress and grow is if you actually do the work and not just listen to the lessons, right?
Yes, exactly. And it was, like I said, like, I'm like, okay, I'm done. But I was like, no, I'm not done. Like it didn't connect. I'm like, that's not the reason.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's
like
awesome.
Challenging myself. Yeah.
Well, Emily, where can everyone find you in case they missed the first Instagram handle?
For sure. So, I'm pretty much Instagram. You can find me on Facebook too, but the majority of my stuff's on Instagram, and it's just Emily and McCracken, MCCRACKEN photography.
Awesome. And we'll include it in the show notes for you all too. Perfect. So you can go to saramonika.com/65 for the show notes. If you're like, man, that was too fast and I need to click on something. I don't know why I do the meh sound sometimes. See, that's just me being me. And you're listening to it and you're either loving it or you're either hating it. And if you're still listening, you're loving it. No, I'm joking. See, Emily loves me. She's just laughing.
So much. Literally so much. Huge fan. Huge fan.
I actually remember for some reason the first time we connected. I think it was like, for some reason, end of 2019 via DMs. Like you followed me.
Yes.
And I remember connecting. And I remember you sending me voice notes. And I'm like, I love your energy.
Yes, because I was driving and I was like, I love your podcast so much. And then I was like, my thing was like low battery and I was like, shut up. And then I went back to talking to you.
That's what that was. I'm like, I love this girl already. I love her spirit. Oh my God.
Yes. No, I actually remember when I followed you, you thanked me for following you. And I was like, oh my God, this is a game changer. Yes. No,
because I want everyone to feel welcome.
Well, you do a really good job of that. Yeah. No, I'm a huge fan and I love our energy together.
Well, thank you so much for, again, putting your energy out for this and sharing everything. I'm so grateful for you. And let's just wish everybody a good day.
Have a good, what day is it? Tuesday.
I
like that.
And there you have it. If tuning into this episode made you realize that this crystal clear marketing mini course is the next step to growing your photography business, then head over to saramonika.com/crystal clear and sign up now. Also, here's the rundown of what you will learn inside of CCM. You'll learn how to optimize your website so that more of your dream clients inquire and book, how to go from being a generalist to becoming a specialist and why it matters, how to find who you are at your core and fuse it fearlessly into your business, how to show up on IG so you can attract quality followers, how you can make the money you deserve while feeling fulfilled with your work at the same time, and lastly, how you can make marketing effortless and fun for yourself. The course comes with 5 lessons guiding you step by step so you never feel unsure of what to do next. And you can always reach out to me with any questions you have. So go to saramonika.com/crystal clear and I'll see you in there. I can't wait. Yay! Thank you so much for hanging out with me and tuning into this episode. If you got value out of it, please feel free to message me on Instagram at SaraMonikaPhoto. That's Sara no H, Monika with a K, photo, to let me know. I get so freaking energized hearing from others that what I've said has had a positive impact on their lives. Also, make sure to hit subscribe to the Shine and Thrive podcast to never miss an episode. I'm so grateful for you, and I'm sending you all the productive vibes your way so you have the best week ever.